When you dance, you're responsible first and foremost for your own performance. When you teach others, the level of responsibility is far, far greater. You have to doubt and question yourself constantly. After all, your pupils' destinies are in your hands. The careers of many of the great ballet dancers were largely shaped by the great teachers in their lives. On one hand, you have the pupil's desire, and on the other, the professional experience of the teacher, who wants to help make something of this excellent material. I'll go through it again. 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, back on your feet. Children study at the academy, so the teacher is absolute authority, whether we want it that way or not. In other words, it's just like a sculpture. Until we've created the skeleton, we can't start adding the flesh. First comes the training, and only after that can the act of creativity begin. In line, and off we go. Normal tempo, keep it steady. Downward emphasis there. Stop. Turn on the music. I can't look at this. Come on, look. This movement here. How come I can do it, but you can't? Until the body of a ballet dancer has been trained, all the other layers, the elegant back, the arms, they simply won't be seen. That was the big difference between 2 great teachers and ballerinas, both former students of Agrippina Vaganova, Galina Ulanova and Marina Semyonova. Ulanova was only a repetitor. She didn't want to get involved in educating the pupil, explaining how to do a pirouette or some other movement. As a repetitor, Ulanova worked with the dancer to create the role, the performance. Semyonova, on the other hand, was a teacher first and a repetitor second. To begin with, she trained her pupils, right down to the smallest detail. And only then, once the dancers had been trained, did she work on the role and create the performance. She didn't have heart-to-heart conversations with her pupils as Ulanova did. She didn't draw them into the performance by asking them to listen to the sound of a falling leaf. Semyonova would simply say, "You silly girl, stand in that corner, take 3 steps and keep your eyes down." And those who put their trust in her instructions produced some breathtaking performances. That was teaching in its purest form. For me personally, Semyonova's approach feels closer to my own. I'm a teacher by nature. First, I create the framework of the dance. I teach it. And only then do I talk to the pupil about the subtleties of the performance. Although it seems Ulanova's approach has infiltrated mine all the same, and I use various methods to try to reach into a pupil's consciousness. sometimes jokes, sometimes pressure, and occasionally I deliberately ignore someone to try and work out what this person is going to respond to. What form of influence can I exert on the student so that they listen to my comments? Show some enthusiasm for your daughter. Look at Nastya. Stop, right there. I can't bear to watch this. What an indifferent mother. I can't understand why you can't get that bit right. You get out of there. Nastyenka, hold out the flowers to me. Look, she held out the flowers to you, and you're looking. What a beauty your daughter is, my God. Now, keep dancing. Nastyenka, keep dancing. This is melting your heart. And what are you doing now? She's still looking at you, and you're already walking away. Have you no heart? Again, Nastya, the pirouettes. Do 3. As for the carrot and stick approach, in our game, I don't know what a carrot is. I don't have time for carrots. For me, the stick is always the carrot. The stick in this profession is the biggest carrot of all, because if someone is shouting at you and expecting their energy on you, it means they're trying to get something out of you, to get a result. It means you're of interest to the teacher. The moment people stop paying attention to you, that's a catastrophe. That means you've been crossed out. You've been knocked out of the race to be at the top of your profession. The more demanding people's attitudes are towards you, the more successful you're going to be. Listen up, everyone. What was that shambles? It's very simple. You put your foot forward, then twirl, and that's it. Nothing to it. Get up. What did you have trouble with just now? First you go right, then left. I was never fond of twirling on the left either, but one has to do it. And I stuck at it. Go on. Do you know why you fell over? Because, look at me. The only way you can avoid falling is if your entire body is moving forward. 1, 2. That's the starting point for teaching this movement. The teacher is in many ways bound by the material, by which I mean the pupil. The more capable the child, the harder they are to teach. Look at any book written about Agrippina Vaganova, and you will see that anyone with anything to say about her recalls how severe she could be with her pupils. This is done purely out of love for the pupil. Our children all understand that the fairly emotional pressure I put them under leads to good results. Everyone says you're afraid of me, and that's stopping you from dancing properly. There are currently 15 people between you and me, and yet you're still scared and can't work out what to do? Get ready, girls. My teacher, Anton Pestov, once told me that I would find it hard to teach because I was too gifted as a child. I used to get everything right the first time. I never had to practice things over and over again. I find it difficult to work with children who struggle to learn the order of movements in a dance, or who didn't want to think about the profession, who don't read much or know much about it. These are the things that I personally find very difficult about teaching, because it's tough doing battle with the mind of a child. My job is to make sure that at least one or two of the children feel a desire to go off to the library and read up a little on the role and the ballet they're performing, so they know what they're doing once they get to the stage. Which is why I'm forever interrupting the rehearsal to ask the children who the composer is, which century the ballet is set in which country, what sort of person they're dancing, what do they want to say with a particular movement. No one wants to bother with that. No, that's something you have to teach. And very often I get the impression, although perhaps I'm being naive here, that the children leave the rehearsal room having genuinely taken an interest and are going to read up on the subject. For me personally, children like these are a source of delight and great affection. Keep in mind that you're all proud Poles, Panie I Panowie. In what year is this Polish act set? What's your name? When this rehearsal is over, you're going to go to the library and read up on it, and then you'll come back here and tell me all the details. Did you hear what I just said? The other disastrous thing is that nobody wants to dance a performance these days, and few people realize that a ballet is first and foremost an image, not just a name. People often quote Pushkin's description of soulful flight. Those aren't just throwaway words, there's a profound meaning behind them, because mindless convulsions, crawling around on the floor, mindless gymnastics, none of that bears any relation to the Russian dance culture. Look at me, please, girls. You mustn't bow like that. All you need to do here is dip slightly. No, not like that. I don't want you to see your shoulder touching the floor. If I wanted to see that, I'll go to the circus and watch rhythmic gymnastics. They'll do 8 somersaults for me, then toss some balls, roll over, and catch them. And you can't even give me 2 good turns in a row. I've spent my whole life promoting theater and dance, not acrobatics. That's what I try to teach the children, but it's very difficult. I try hard not to create a group of my own special favorites, but I've been told several times that it's abundantly clear and that everyone around me knows which pupils I like and which I'm less fond of. I see the raw material in a child, and I start to serve that material unreservedly. And if the child trusts me, everything falls into place. Good material places a binding responsibility on me as a teacher, and the more gifted the child is, the harder they are to teach. The more delicate the porcelain, the easier it breaks. You have to handle it with tremendous care. Vera, dear, let's get there. Vera, cross your arms. A child needs to know that we think highly of them, that they have psychological support. And the children at our academy really do have this support. I say to all of our pupils, when they leave school and go out into the real world, they know that my door will always be open. If you need to, you can always come and see me at the academy. I will always be there for you, always.